so I'm really excited to talk about this. This is a question that we get frequently in our customer success department. And we just really want to be able to communicate that to you all and let you know that we are there for you to help you every step of the way, even with these changes. And what we're going to talk about today is how to regenerate your smart schedule. So one of the things that we get questioned about a lot is, I want to reduce my pinning, to the 15 to 25 time slots per day. Some people don't know where to find that, so we'll go over that. Another question that we get is after you do change your schedule to the 15 to 25 per day or in that range, sometimes it doesn't look like the schedule automatically adheres to your new changes. So we'll discuss like why there is a little bit of a discrepancy at first, and then go into a little bit how to change that and make sure the schedule looks fresh and clean like you want it to. So Jeff, if you want to pull up the dashboard, we can get right into it. Great. So where you'll start, obviously you want to be in your Pinterest profile. That's the best way to make sure that you're not off track. But once you're there, we'll go down to the your scheduled tab in Publisher. So, yep. And then you'll see the your schedule tab that you can select. Thankfully, Tailwind is already in the 15 to 25 per day. So for this example, what you want to do is just click on the recreate schedule underneath where it says general queue. And it looks like it's got 15 per day right now. But we could just click recreate schedule. And that should prompt us to give us the opportunity to change how much we want to select at that time.
Johnny, do you actually want me to do it for real?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
it makes me a little nervous. You're account here, so here we go. I'm going to click on it. Okay.
Cool.
And then just click
we can just bump it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want me to bump it to?
Yeah, just 20 is fine.
Okay. And hit recreate schedule.
Hey, Gianni, how come it says? Wait, I have a question before we leave the screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for one thing, I want to just point out that green badge there. That's a smart guide badge that's telling us, hey, your pinning frequency is good. How come we're saying we want to post 20 times a day, and it's saying average time slot 24 per day on the left?
24 per day. Oh, that's showing you for that day, like what your average time slots are at currently. I believe that's what that's saying.
Okay. Cool. So why would I'm throwing these curveballs at Johnny just to get him. So why would I unclick this shift previously scheduled pins to fill in a new? Why would I unclick that? What would be a reason to do that for on that screen, right underneath?
Sorry, let me read that. Shifts previously scheduled pins to fill in. Oh, right. So you'll want to if you don't do that, basically what it'll do is it'll just leave your previously scheduled pins in like the way it is to condense your schedule. So what happens is it's like, say if you had like 25 pins scheduled per day, and then you don't click that option, and then you condense it to like 20 pins per day, basically. And I will get into this a little bit later, but especially for those that like have locked pins, it won't actually move. And so that gives you the ability to condense your schedule from there so that you don't have those unwanted time slots. But we'll get into a little bit of why that happens, just because there's a little bit. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and click the recreate schedule button then. We're doing it. Okay, here we go. All right. Cool. So if we go back to just like your drafts or scheduled tab, just so we can see what it looks like on the calendar grid. So scheduled pins will be fine. Okay. Yeah, it might take a minute to load, but. Okay, cool. Yeah. So from there, we should be able to see some additional time slots for the open, like that are open now. So this is where I wanted to specifically call out. Now on this page, you probably won't see it as like egregious as other accounts, but let's say if you had a lot of locked pins, especially like interval pins,
A lot of people say they'll shorten or not shorten, but they'll decrease the amount of pins that they have. So they'll go from 25 to 20, and they'll wonder why their schedule isn't showing the correct amount of time slots. It looks like, oh, I have way more than I really wanted. And what happens there is those interval pins that are locked, Tailwind wants to make sure once it is a locked pin, it makes sure that it doesn't move. Right, so you have to either individually unlock those pins, or Tailwind can offer to, like our CS team will offer to bulk unlock those pins for you. And what that'll do is it'll allow you to then click in the fill-in time slots, and then it'll shift those pins into those open time slots, which will condense the schedule and get rid of those unwanted time slots. So another thing to keep in mind though, is by doing this, the intervals, the pins that were on interval timing will lose their interval pattern. So what that means is if you had pins, now those pins go into the open time slots, and you'll lose that pattern. So you'll want to make sure you either delete those pins or move them back to drafts so that they don't post too closely together.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
What a tip. Now I've got to rewatch that and figure out exactly what you said. Because that was some good stuff.
It's a lot. But it is super helpful to know. And for those people that have like a lot of scheduled or locked interval pins, we do, like I said, we do offer to bulk unlock those. And it does take a little bit of work to tidy it up. But if it is something that you are looking forward to doing, especially in terms of getting your schedule into that 15 to 25 per day, even a little bit more than that, it is the best way to look fresh and clean. So I just wanted to share that with you all because it is something that we see a lot of, but it is something that really can help, especially just understanding why Smart Guide is there and how we can help you to be able to get to where you want to be to get you pinning properly.
Awesome. So you mentioned if you need help, like unlocking some things, how would the best way for those people to get in touch with somebody on support to help with that?
Right. So from your dashboard, I think there's an option to reach out to our CS team. And I don't know what it's exactly called, but you should be able to see if you need support. There's like a question mark or something like that, and it'll ping one of us. It'll get into our inbox, and then we'll reply as soon as we can to help you out. But all you have to do is all you have to ask is, can you bulk unlock my pins for me? And we'll take care of that as soon as possible.